Bienvenidos, and welcome to my channel. During the summer of last year, one of my closest friends opened up a game shop and asked me to be at the grand opening showing off some painting skills and techniques. While I was there, he gave me some of the freebies from the free RPG day that was happening the same day as his grand opening. Among those goodies was the Wasp mini from WizKids. Now, I've been printing my own minis for over a year and stopped buying and painting WizKid minis altogether. But a while back, I remember seeing someone post on Facebook that you can do a sloppy Zenithal Prime by taking the WizKids pre-prime minis and adding a black wash over it. This is supposed to darken the details and bring down the stark white to a light gray with the option of dry brushing white over the top to bring back the highlights. I thought this mini would be a great way to experiment this theory. But before we begin, let's take a look at my unofficial sponsor, the Kobold's Lair.
Need dice out on the high seas? What about minis in the jungle? We've got you covered with paints, terrain, minis, and more. Located at 1270 Front Street in Crescent City. Open 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. The Kobold's Lair, supplying your battlefield since 2023.
I began with a simple, thinned-down dark tone quick shade to coat the whole mini, and it seemed to be doing a decent job of giving me more than the bright white surface to work with. I decided to forego the dry brushing and just paint the model with the quick shade only. Once I had this done and the quick shade dried, I moved on to the speed paints. Since I wanted a more realistic giant-ass wasp, my color palette was limited to black and yellow, but I used some Vallejo shifter paint for the eyes and wings to break up the two-color paint scheme. I started with Grim Black for simplicity and made sure to go over the areas twice to make sure it looks smooth. Once I had the black bits covered, it was on to the yellows. As any mini painter will tell you, yellow is one of the hardest colors to get a decent coverage, but the speed paints actually did a great job covering the mini. While I also did 2 coats with the yellow speed paints, they still did a good job of coverage on the first coat. So, when you work on a budget, technical difficulties happen. I recently bought a new camera arm, and while it's a huge improvement over the previous videos, I'm still learning where the optimum paint space is on the camera and where to keep things in focus while I paint. That said, the rest of the speed paint went on without a problem, but I knew from the beginning that I was going to do touch-ups with the acrylics, so it was time to break out the wet palette. For those of you who haven't yet invested in a wet palette, I highly recommend one. The one I use is from Army Painter. Yes, I'm a fanboy. And I plan to upgrade when the new XL version comes out. There are many on the market that work amazingly well, but you can also do it yourself with household items until you get a chance to pick one up. Okay, it's story time. I hate wasps. They freak me the hell out. Always have, always will. When I was about 11, some friends and I were walking through a wooded area near one of our homes when we all trampled on a ground wasp nest. Well, being the last in line, they were all pretty pissed off by the time I walked through the area, so I was attacked. And I mean attacked. They came from everywhere, and my 11-year-old self thought I had barely escaped death. But, trauma aside, this was kind of fun to paint. Damn it, I'm a painter, not a cinematographer. This was during the part where I was trying to paint black on the structure of the wings. Not only did I forget to turn on the camera until halfway through, the footage I did shoot was out of focus or off camera. So, let's do the time warp again. As I said, I used Vallejo shifter paint for the wings and eyes. For the wings, I thinned it way down with some speed paint medium. I think the ratio was 4:1 or 5:1, I can't remember. This worked out very nicely for the wings and ended up with a nice rainbow sheen I was hoping for. For the eyes, I used the paint straight from the bottle and added multiple layers until I was happy with the coverage. I then did more layers with different colors to try and get some depth to the eyes. This kind of worked, but it didn't read the way I wanted it to and only showed under close examination, not a tabletop distance. With the wings done, it was a time for assembly, but as before, my video skills suck, and the footage was unusable, so let's jump straight to the end result. I think it turned out well, and it's taking up a nice spot on the desk display I have at my real job. I got a lot of nice compliments, mostly burn it with fire, which I took as a compliment to its realism because that's my reaction to a real live wasp. Thanks to everyone on Facebook who commented and gave advice on this project. I hope you liked my video. If so, please hit the like, subscribe, and share buttons and help me build my audience. If you haven't found me on Facebook or Instagram, please have a look and follow me for more updates and behind-the-scenes pics. Again, a big shout out to the Kobold's Lair for their support and providing the topic for this video. If you're ever in Northern California, and I do mean Northern, or Southern Oregon, drop by and check out the Kobold's Lair in Crescent City, located on the coast just about 30 miles from the Oregon border. Join me next time for a personal look into where I've come from in the hobby, why I do what I do, and what I have planned for the future. Until the next episode, remember, they ain't gonna paint themselves. Ciao!